basics, and in this video we're going to be talking about proportional or not. So first let's kind of talk about what that means. So in order for an equation or a graph to be proportional, it must be linear, which means it forms a straight line. Also, in order for it to be linear, it must pass the origin. Must pass origin, which again is 0, 0. And then equations that are proportional are written in the form y equals mx. So here you have no adding or subtracting. So that adding or subtracting would tell you that your graph goes through a number or a different part of your y-axis that is not 0, 0, the origin. So an equation that is proportional, again, it goes through the origin. So here it goes through the origin. It can be positive and it can also be negative. So here we have both of these as proportional graphs. Now, the difference here whenever we're talking about non-proportional equations. Non-proportional equations are nonlinear. They can be linear, however, but nonlinear is a major indication that it is non-proportional. So that means that it curves. And another indication that it is non-proportional is it does not pass origin. It does not pass the origin. And then non-proportional equations are written in the form y equals mx plus b. So here we see adding or subtracting. So that plus b, that is our y-intercept. So that tells you where your graph is going to pass through your y-axis. So you can have a non-proportional equation look like this. Or again, it could curve, so it might look like this. Again, here are the major differences between proportional and non-proportional graphs. So looking at page 1, really quickly, this is everything you should have written down in your foldable for these two sides. So again, looking at your foldable, this is everything you should have written down. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and look at number 1. So number 1 says, Hannah reads at a constant rate of 2.5 pages per minute. Which graph represents this linear proportional situation? Now, we know that linear equations must pass the origin. So looking at our answer choices, we can eliminate a couple of them because it does not pass through the point 0, 0. So right now it looks like it's in between A and C. Those both pass through 0, 0. But if we look at B, it does not pass through 0, 0, and it starts it off at 2.5 because they're trying to trick you. Again, they do the same thing with D. They put this at 2.5 because they're trying to trick you as well. So again, we are in between pages we're in between answer choices A and D. So here again, it says we read 2.5 pages per minute. So here I should be at 2.5 at 1 minute. I should be at 2.5 and 1 minute. So A does not go through 2.5 pages per minute, but here C does. So again, looking at our foldable now, this is what you should have written for number 1. Again, here C was our answer because at 2.5 pages you have she's reading 2.5 pages per minute. So next we're going to go ahead and close our foldable, and now we're going to open this up and we're going to be looking at number 2. So number 2 says, which of the following equations represents a nonlinear relationship? Now, if you remember looking, or whenever we discussed non-proportional relationships, those types of equations were written in the form y equals mx plus b. So here you have adding or subtracting occurring. So F, H, and J, I do not see any adding or subtracting, so that means that G is my answer. So again, all you should have written down on your foldable is the following. So again, this is all you should have. Okay, so now we're going to look at number 3. So it says, which table shows a non-proportional relationship between x and y? So whenever you're looking at a table, to determine if it is proportional or not, you want to go back to direct variation where it is y divided by x. Now this will allow you to find your constant of proportionality. Now you want to do y divided by x for every single equation on the you want to do this for every single x and y pairing to see if they match. So here for starters we have f. And remember, we are finding the one that is non-proportional. So right away for f, I see that it passes through the point 0, 1. So this tells me that this is non-proportional because it does not go through 0, 0. However, if we're doing this by y divided by x, I'm dividing 1 divided by 0, and you get 0. Then I do 2 divided by 2, and 2 divided by 2 equals 1. Then we do 3.5 divided by 5, and looking at our calculator, we get 0.7. So this is 0.7, and then we have 5 divided by 8. It gives us a fraction. We want to do menu to 1, and we get 0.625. So here we see that whenever we're trying to do y divided by x, they are not the same constant of proportionality. So that means that this is not proportional. However, we need to also check the following. So the fact that it crosses through the point 0, 0 tells us that it goes to the origin, so that's good. Then we have to divide our y value by our x values to make sure each of them, the constant of proportionality is the same. So for our y value, we have 2.25. divided by 1 equals 2.25. Then we have 9 divided by 4. When we put that in our calculator, we get 2.25, so that checks out. Then we have 22.5 divided by 10, and when we put that in, it equals 2.25. So again, that also checks out. So G is proportional. Then we have to look at H. So H passes through the point 0, 0, so that tells us that this is proportional for starters because it passes through the origin, but we need to make sure that our constant of proportionality is the same. So first, again, we're dividing y by x, so 1.5 divided by 3 equals 0.5. Then you have 2 divided by 4. And whenever you do 2 divided by 4 in your calculator, again, you get 0.5. So that checks out. So far, so good. And then 3.5 divided by 7, and we get 0.5. So this is also a proportional table. Lastly, we look at J. It does not go through the point. It does go through the point 0, 0, so right now it's telling us that it is proportional. And all that's left to do is to check that whenever we divide our y values by the x values, that they are equal for each of our pairings. So here I have 6 divided by 2, that equals 3. 9 divided by 3 equals 3, and 21 divided by 7 equals 3. So J is also a proportional table, which means here that F is our answer. So again, just looking at your foldable, this is everything you should have written down for number 3. Now we're going to go ahead and look at number 4. So number 4, which situation represents a relationship that is not proportional? So remember, if it's not proportional, that means I'm adding or subtracting to something. So for F, it says purchasing exotic spices online for $35 per ounce. This word per indicates that this is X, plus a single shipping and handling fee of $11.75. So if I see the words like plus, in addition to, that means I'm adding something. So right off the bat, this tells me that this is not proportional. So we have the equation as y equals 35x plus that shipping and handling fee of $11.75. Then we have G. It says purchasing diamonds online for $2,500 per carat plus a luxury tax of $375 per carat. So this is telling me we have that fee per carat. So every carat is $2,500. So every carat you buy is $2,500. Plus they're going to charge you that luxury tax of $375 for every carat. So this is proportional. Then we have H, purchasing roasted nuts online for $8.15 per pound plus a shipping fee of $2.50 per pound. So the cost is occurring per pound, so this is also proportional. So you're charging $8.15 per pound to ship it. I'm sorry, you're charging $8.15 per pound when you buy, plus you're also charging $2.50 per pound when you ship it. So again, that is a proportional relationship. J, purchasing online identity theft protection for 0.7 cents per day plus credit monitoring for 0.3 cents per day. So you're paying the amount per day for identity theft protection plus you're paying the amount for credit monitoring per day. So J is also a proportional relationship, and again, F is non-proportional. So now looking at your foldable here, this is everything you should have written for question number 4. So now looking at question 5, let's go ahead and look at that last one. Question 5 tells us which situation represents a proportional relationship. So again, you cannot have any adding or subtracting here. So A says renting a karaoke machine costs $275 per day plus a delivery fee of $39. So we would represent this as 275x plus 39. Again, this would be non-proportional. So A is non-proportional. Then we have B, renting a wedding venue costs $259 per hour plus a final cleaning fee of $95. So we have 259x plus the cleaning fee of $95. So that is also, again, non-proportional. Then we have C, renting a moving van costs $305 per day plus a one-time relocation fee of $75. So again, we represent this as 305x plus that one-time fee of $75. Again, you're adding or subtracting, so that's non-proportional. Then D, we are renting a hotel room that costs $95 per day plus a daily hotel occupancy tax of $14.25 per day. So they're charging the cost of renting the room plus the tax every day. So we have 95x plus 14.25x when we can combine this in our price, which tells us that this is proportional. So here, D is our answer. So taking a look at your foldable again. Okay, so again, this is everything you should have written down, and that was our foldable on proportional or not. So make sure you have watched the video on scatter plots, and once you have done that, you can go ahead and complete your assignment for today.